Good morning all. So previous lecture માં આપણે પાર્કિંગ સ્ટડીઝ વિશે થોડી વાત કરી હતી કે પાર્કિંગ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ શું હોય છે and how far the parkers will walk. બરાબર. તો એ ફિનોમિના એવું કહેવા માંગતો હતો કે ભાઈ તમે કોઈ બી જગ્યાએ પાર્કિંગ કરો છો તો જે બી પાર્કર્સ જે છે બરાબર જે કે જેને યુઝર્સ છે બરાબર છે એ કેટલું વોક કરી શકે લાઈક પાર્કિંગ કર્યા પછી એમના જે ડેસ્ટિનેશન સુધી પહોંચવા માટે એ કેટલું પાર્કિંગ કરી અને ચાલી શકે છે એની આપણે કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક વિશે વાત કરી હતી બરાબર. So next topic આપણો છે accumulation and duration. Parking accumulation is defined as the total number of vehicles parked at any given time. Many parking studies seeks to establish the duration of parking accumulation over time to determine the peak accumulation when it occurs. Of course, observed parking accumulation are constrained by parking supply. Thus, parking demand that is constrained by lack of supply must be estimated using other means. Nationwide studies have shown that parking accumulation in most cities has increased over time. Total accumulation and in an urban area, however, is strongly related to the urbanized area population, as illustrated in the figure. Parking duration is the length of the time that individual vehicle remain parked. This characteristic is therefore a distribution of individual values, and both the distribution and the average value are of great interest. Like parking accumulation, average parking durations are related to the size of the urban area, with average duration increasing with urban area population as shown in the figure. Average duration also varies considerably with the trip purpose as indicated in the table, which summarize the result of studies in the Boston in 1972 and the Charlotte in 1987. Okay, so accumulation totals. Each column of each field sheet is summed to provide the total accumulation of parked vehicle within each time period on each observer route. Duration distribution by observing the license plate record of each space. Vehicles can be classified as having been parked for one interval, two intervals, three intervals, etc. By examining each time of each line of each field sheet, a duration distribution is created. Violation: the number of vehicles illegally parked either because they occupy an illegal space or have exceeded the legal time restriction of a space should be noted. The average parking duration is computed as D is equal to sigma x into nx into capital X into I upon n t. Next here, other type of parking studies. A number of other techniques can be used to gain information concerning parked vehicle and the parkers. Origin of the parked vehicle can be obtained by recording the license plate number of parked vehicles and petitioning the state motor vehicle agency for home address. This technique, which requires special permission for the state authorities, is frequently used at the shopping centers, stadiums, and other large trip attractors. Interviews of parkers are also useful and are most easily conducted at a large trip attraction location. Basic information on the trip purpose, duration, distance walked, etc. can be obtained. In addition, however, attitudinal and background parker characteristic information can also be obtained to gain the greater insight into the how parking conditions affect users. Design aspects of parking facility. Off-street parking facilities are provided as surface lots or parking garages. The latter may be above ground, below ground, or a combination of both. The construction cost of both surface lots and garages varies significantly depending upon the location and the specific site condition. In general, surface lots are considerably cheaper than garages. Typically, surface lot cost between 1,500 and 2,500 per space is provided. Garages are more complex and below ground garage are far more costly than the above ground structure. So this is justify the typical cost of the on ground of on surface parking and the off surface parking like above ground or the below ground. A parking facility must be convenient and safe for the internet users. A parking facility should be space efficient and economical to operate. A parking facility should be compatible with its environs. Convenience and safety involves many issues, including proximity to major destination, adequate access to the and egress facility, a simple and efficient internal circulation system, adequate stall dimensions, and a basic security. The latter refers to security against theft of vehicles and the security from muggings and other personal crime. Space efficiency implies that while appropriate circulation, stall, and reservoir space must be provided, parking facilities should be designed to maximize parking capacity and minimize the wasted space. The third objective involves in issues of architectural beauty and ensuring that the facility and the vehicle trip is generated do not present a visual or auditory disruption to the environment in its immediate area. Some basic parking dimensions. Basic parking dimensions are based on one of two design vehicle. Modern parking facilities are often make use of the separated parking areas for the small cars to maximize the total parking capacity. Figure illustrate that the basic criteria for the two design vehicle used in the parking facility design, the large cars and the small cars. Parking stall width. Parking stall must be wide enough to encompass the vehicle and allow for door opening clearance. The minimum door opening clearance is 22 inches, but this may be increased to 26 inches where the turnover rates are high. Only one door opening clearance is provided per stall, as the parked vehicle and its adjacent neighbor can utilize the same clearance space. For the large car, the parking stall width should range between 77 plus 22 99 inches and 77 plus 26 103 inches. Reference recommended the use of four parking classes depending upon the turnover rates and the typical users. Recommended design guidelines for the large car stall which are as shown in the figure. For small cars, these guidelines suggest a parking stall width between 66 plus 22 is equal to 88 inches and the 66 plus 26 is 92 inches. 7.6 feet design standard is often applied to small car stall widths. Reference suggests a design width of 8 feet for parking classes A and B and the 7.5 feet for parking class C and D. Parking stall length and depth. Parking stall length is measured parallel to the parking angle. It is generally taken as the length of the design vehicle plus 6 inches for the bumper clearance. This implies a length of 215 plus 6, 221 inches for large cars and 175 plus 6 181 inches for the small cars. The depth of the parking stall is the 90 inches projection for the design vehicle length and 6-inch bumper clearance for the clearance. For a 90-inch parking stall, the length and the depth of the stall are equivalent. For other angle parking, the depth of the stall is smaller than the length. Okay, so this is a kind of the factual data. The next is a parking modules. Parking modules refers to the basic layout of one aisles with a set of parking stalls on the both side of the aisles. There are many potential way to layout a parking module. For a 90 inches stall, two-way aisles are virtually always used. As vehicles may enter parking stall conveniently from either approach direction where angles parking is used. Vehicle may depart in the same direction. In most cases, angle parking is arranged using one-way aisles and the stalls on both sides of the aisles are arranged to permit entries and exits from and to same direction of the travel. Angle stalls can also be arranged such that the stalls on one side of the aisles are approached from the opposite direction as those on the other side of the aisles. In such cases, two-way aisles must be provided. Note that the figure shows the four different ways of laying out a module. One module with aisles is one module which applies if the both side of the stalls butt up against wall or other horizontal physical barriers. Another applies if both sides of the stalls are interlocked. A third applies if one set of stalls is against the wall while the other is interlocked. Yet another module reflect only a single set of stalls against the wall for the various types of the parking modules. Providing separate parking areas for the large and the small vehicle presents a number of operating problems. Areas must be clearly signed and circulation must allow drivers to easily get to both type of parking space, as the mix of the small and large cars is variable. There may be times where when large cars try to force themselves into the small car stalls, and the times when the small cars occupy large car stalls. Cars will have a difficulty not only in fitting into small car stalls, but in maneuvering in aisles designed for the small cars. So this is kind of the parking modules. Okay. So the last topic is a parking problems. Every urban governmental unit must have a plan to deal effectively with the parking needs and associated problems. Parking is often a controversial issue, as it is of the vital concern to the business community in general, and the particular business that are especially sensitive to the parking. Further, parking has enormous financial aspect as well. In addition to the impact of parking on the accessibility and the financial health of the community at a large, parking facilities are expensive to build and to operate. On the flip side, revenues from parking fees are also enormous. The public interest in parking falls within the governmental general responsibility to protect the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens. Thus, the government has a responsibility establish parking problem goals and objective, develop policies and the plans, establish program standard and the performance criteria, establishing zoning requirement for parking, regulate commercial parking, provide parking for the specific public use, manage and regulate on-street parking and the loading, enforce law regulation and the codes concerning parking and adjacent offenses. There are a number of organizational approaches to effectively implementing the public role. Parking can be placed under the authority of the existing department of the government in small communities where there is a no professional traffic engineer or traffic department. A department of public work might be tasked with the parking. In some cases, police department have been given this responsibility, but this is not a considered an optional optimum solution, given that it will be a subservient to the primary role of the police department. Where the traffic department exists, responsibility for the parking can logically be placed there. In larger municipalities, separate department can be established for the parking boards may be created with the appointed or elected members supervising the process. Because of the revenues and the cost involved in the parking, separate public parking authorities may also be established. Parking facilities may be operated directly by governmental units or can be franchised to the private operators. This is often a critical part of the process and may have a substantial impact on the net revenues from the parking that find their way into the public coffers. Parking policies varies widely depending upon the local circumstances. In some major cities, parking supply is deliberately limited, and the costs are deliberately kept high as a discouragement of to the driving. Such a policy works only where there is a significant public transport supply to maintain access to the city's business. Where parking is a major part of access, the planning, development, and the operation of off-street parking facility become a major issue. Private franchises are often chosen to build, operate, and manage parking facility. While this generally provides a measure of expertise and relieves the government of the immediate need to finance and operate such facility directly, the city must negotiate and assign a significant portion of the parking revenues to the franchise. Of course, parking lots and the garages can be fully private, although such facilities are generally regulated. Okay, so here our the parking studies chapter is completed. So next આપણે traffic control devices અને signal ના chapters આપણે discuss કરીશું. Okay, so see you in the next lecture. Thank you.